Guys, in this video we'll be seeing about nucleus. We can say it's the leader of the cell, and by the way this is the chapter 5 in biology class 9. So let's get started. The fundamental unit of life. So nucleus is very important. We're gonna see everything from the textbook, whatever it's in the textbook. It's very important. So yeah, let's just go. So remember the temporary amount of onion peel we prepared. We had put iodine solution on the peel. Why? What would we see if we tried observing the peel without putting the iodine solution? So I think you guys would have gone to the laboratory before reading the lesson. So in the laboratory you would have observed the onion peels cells in when there is iodine or a saffron solution put on it, and then you can see it at the microscope, and you would have write it in your record book also. So what would we see if we tried observing the peel without putting the iodine solution? Iodine solution gives the color to the peel so that we can see the peel well. So try it and see what the difference is. Further, when we put iodine solution on the peel, did each cell get evenly colored? According to the chemical composition, different regions of cells get colored differently. So it doesn't mean that all the cells should get colored the perfect amount. It's like it depends on the cells. So some regions appear darker than other regions. Apart from the iodine solution, we could also use saffron solution or the methylene blue solution. So in our laboratory we put the saffron solution, which is pretty much bright red or like pinkish in color, and we have observed cells from an onion. Now let us observe cells from our own body, which is like the cheek cells. So now let's say this activity. Let us take a glass slide with a drop of water on it. Using an ice cream scoop, gently scrape the inside surface of the cheek. Does any material get stuck on the spoon? With the help of a needle, we can transfer this material and spread it evenly on a glass slide kept ready for this. To color the material, we can put a drop of methylene blue solution on it. You can use saffron or iodine too. But now the material is ready for observation under the microscope. Do not forget to put a cover slip on it. What do we observe? A cover slip is nothing but to make it to keep the thing fresh for a long time. So what is the shape of the cells we see? Draw it on the observation sheet. So guys, this is how cheek cells are under the microscope. Like y'all can see, this is the nucleus and this is the bacteria of the cell. We'll be learning about this, so let's go. So the nucleus has a double layered covering called the nuclear membrane, as the plasma membrane or the cell membrane has something to hold all the organelles inside. The nucleus also has a nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allows the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, which is the transfer of mixture or like let it be water or the particles that it needs. It lets it in, and some of them it doesn't let it. It's very minute. You can't even see it, only on a microscope. Of material from inside the nucleus to the outside, that is to the cytoplasm, which we talked about. Okay, cytoplasm is nothing but the liquid that they float in. The liquid that they float in is cytoplasm. Okay, and the nucleus contains chromosomes, which are visible as rod-shaped structures. Only when the cell is about to divide, the chromosomes contain information for inheritance of characters from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. So what they're telling here is the nucleus contains this called as chromosomes, and chromosomes are visible, but they're like in a rod-shaped structures. And when the cell is about to divide, we already know that cells divide, multiply, and then they keep on going, right? So when the cells are about to divide, chromosomes contain information for the inheritance of the characters. We know that the genes means the basics of the inheritance, which is you formed from your characteristics of your mother and your father, and some of new characteristics of yourself. So chromosomes contain information of the inheritance of the characteristics from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. Your mother and father would have said you look just like your family would have said when they see a picture of a baby. You look just like the baby looks like her father, the baby looks like her mother, because the it's just that it's the genes from the father and mother which is inherited into the baby. So the generation of the form in DNA. So the chromosomes contain information for inheritance of the characters from parents to the next generation in form of DNA. And this is the full form of DNA. So chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. DNA molecules contain the information necessary for constructing and organizing the cells. Functional segments of DNA are called as genes. In a cell which is not dividing, the DNA is present in a part of chromatin material. Chromatin material is visible as entangled mass of thread-like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material gets organized in the chromosomes. So chromosomes contain DNA and protein. DNA molecules have all the necessary necessary information to construct and organize the cells, and the functional segments of the DNA are called as genes. We already know what is genes, right? Like the basics of heredity, which is like you have the characteristics from your mother and father and some for yourself, which is normally genes, and DNA is present in the part of chromatin material. Chromatin means, I'll show you the picture of them, you can clearly understand when you see the picture. Chromatin is the material which is visibly, and it's like thin, like thread-like structures. It's very thin and it's visible, and it's like entangled, like there are a lot of them. It's like so thin and they're everywhere scattered around the nucleus. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material gets organized. So only when the cell is going to divide, the chromatin will get the thread-like structures which are very messy. They get organized to chromosomes. Chromosomes are like the X-like structures which we already have studied in 8th standard. Let me show you the picture of them. So these are the chromatin fibers, you guys. You can see they're like thin thread-like structures, and when the cell is dividing, they form into something like this, which is the chromosomes. It's an X-like structure, and this is the chromosomes. The thread-like structures form into this X-like structures when the cell is dividing. Let's again see, whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin materials gets organized into chromosomes. The nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction and the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. It also plays a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at the maturity by directing the chemical activities in the cell, of the cell. So what they are saying here is the nucleus plays a very important role in the cellular reproduction. So the process by which a cell divides, if a single cell it divides and forms two new cells, it is called as the cellular reproduction. And it also plays a very important part along the environment too, in determining the way that the cell will develop and what will it form and how it will exhibit at the maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. So in some organisms like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of the nuclear membrane, such as unidentified nuclear region containing only nucleic acid is called as a nucleoid. Such organisms whose cell lack a nuclear membrane are prokaryotics. Pro means primitive or primary, which is like it's not formed. It's not formed yet, and then I'll just tell you that. And organisms having a nuclear membrane are called as eukaryotics, and prokaryotics also lack most of the other cytoplasmic organelles. So what they're telling here is, in the organisms like bacteria, the nuclear region may be poorly defined due to the absence of this. The membrane, such unidentified nuclear region containing only the nucleic acids is called as a nucleoid. Okay, remember that. And I'll tell you about eukaryotic and prokaryotic in an easier way. So first, let's see what's a prokaryotic cell. A prokaryotic cell, one second. Cells can be classified into two types. First of all, it's eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Eukaryotic cells are true kernels. Eukaryotic cells mean they have a defined kernel, like the animal cell or animal cell. It has a defined nucleus. A true kernel means eukaryotic cells means a true kernel. Because it has a defined nucleus, and prokaryotic means before kernel. let me show you. This is a prokaryotic cell. It does not have a defined kernel, right? It has nucleoid. It's not a defined kernel. Because of this is called as prokaryotic. This is prokaryotic cell. It does not have a defined kernel, so it's called as before kernel or prokaryotic cells. And prokaryotic cells are examples of like bacteria, and bacteria literally covers 90% of the cells in our body. And eukaryotic cells, which is examples are like eukaryotic cells are animals, plants, fungi, and all that. So these are all eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. I hope they're a little more clearer now. So yeah, and that's all guys. Nuclear, the whole thing we have mastered it. If you can't understand, go ahead in the video and watch it again, and if you have doubts still, you can definitely ask in the comments. So make sure you like, share and subscribe for more videos. Bye. Next